The scripture of the Clay Maiden goes as follows. Once there was a maiden who made herself from the substance of the world. She knew how to eat an owl's heart and gain its insight. She knew how to bake herself in the sun and melt herself in the rain. She knew how to mess up wisdom, which isn't necessarily a good idea. She knew how to love and how to hate. Survival is flexibility, said she. How is the Clay Maiden? Like a quiver. And while I'm at it, how is the one-handed maiden likened to a banner? Is it perhaps that by breaking down that steel wall with the hand she lost, saying survival is fury, she earned the right to be the banner holder? And what of the maiden on the shelf, who said survival is control? She stood on a shelf for years. She had eyes made of glass, but red pupils. Her mouth was sewn on. She did not move, and then she was gone. And someone was decapitated at that. Could that maiden on the shelf be perhaps carrying a sword or a spear? The sword of Damocles hanging over that child's head. Survival is control. But why did it appear in that story? Survival was definitely control, but what did it have to do with that? Once there was a maiden, falling forever in the water. She reached for purchase, but found nothing. Her arms swung through the sea. The water did not slow her, nor did the chill. But she could not breathe. Each time she gasped and found no breath, the human child died, and thus she lived. Survival is acceptance, she said. That is the scripture of the drowning maiden. When your life hinges on that, survival really is acceptance. Thankfully, none of us is the drowning maiden. Except sometimes. someone else suffers, and we continue to live. And that, unfortunately, is survival is acceptance. Sometimes to jivati, you have to atman samsarpati, karoti. Atman sometimes to survive, you have to self-surrender. It's kind of how things are. Once there was a maiden whose battles called her far from home. She slew the thing that she feared the most and conquered the land that feared her. And as she fought far away, she knew her children needed guidance. She knew they faced tyrants. She knew they faced fear. In her homeland, things were broken. So she held up her hand before the sun, cast a shadow on the world, and drowned the troubles of her home in darkness. Survival's a long reach. A long reach. Acceptance. Control. Fury. Flexibility. These are all paths to survival. In my opinion, flexibility is probably the best, but self-surrender sometimes is the only option. So, there's that. For reference sake, all of these come from the Exalted Manual of Exalted Power, specifically Sidereal's. It's different from the other book that I've actually shown you all before. I'm using an electronic copy, so obviously I can't really show you. But thank you for watching. Please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and share.